Today, on April 17th, a door to your destiny is opening, but you are walking away from it. Beloved soul, listen not with your ears alone, but with the ancient knowing etched into the chambers of your spirit. For I, Archangel Michael, come not to soothe, but to awaken. I speak to you not from afar, but from within the winds that whisper through your questions, from the firelight that flickers when you pray and no one seems to answer. Today, yes, this very day, the 17th of April, a door creaks open in the invisible realm. Not a door made by hands, not forged of wood or iron, but carved through centuries of spiritual preparation. This is your door, a threshold tailored to your soul's original agreement. And yet, I must speak the truth, no matter how it stings. You are walking away from it. You do not mean to. I see the good in you, the kindness behind your exhaustion, the yearning hidden beneath your distractions. But still, your gaze is elsewhere. The world has taught you to look down when you should be looking up, to guard your heart when it should be breaking open, to survive when you were born to rise. This door, do you feel it now? In the tremble beneath your thoughts, in the tug behind your chest that you keep calling anxiety. But it is not anxiety. It is destiny knocking. I come bearing a divine mirror, not the one others hold up to shame you, not the one the past uses to define you, but the mirror of heaven that reflects not who you have been, but who you are becoming. You must look. You must look, even if it makes you weep. Because, child of the stars, you are standing in the sacred hour. And the door is not just symbolic, it is alive. A living portal designed by the divine architect. And on the other side is everything that was written for you before time laid its first brick. Your mission, your healing, your rightful place. But you cannot walk through a door you keep denying exists. So let me reveal why you are turning away. It is not because you do not care. It is because someone, once taught you to fear your own power. There was a moment, perhaps forgotten by your conscious mind, when your light frightened the room. And the room made you believe that dimming yourself was safety. That conformity was love. That playing small was the cost of belonging. But I say to you now, by the authority of heaven, that was a lie. And that lie is what I've come to break. You have not been abandoned. The silence you felt was not heaven ignoring you. It was the universe pausing, holding its breath, waiting for you to notice this door. And here it is. Not tomorrow. Not after you get it all together. Now. But here's the mystery. The door does not shout. It does not demand. It waits, patiently, like God's heartbeat hidden beneath your chaos. You must slow down to feel it. You must be still to see it. You must trust what cannot be proven. This is where many turn away. This is where you've been turning away. And this is where your life can pivot. You are not too late. You may feel behind, but the divine timeline does not run by clocks. It runs by alignment. And alignment is only ever one sacred decision away. So what will you choose? I do not bring condemnation. I bring correction wrapped in compassion. You are closer than you think. One act of courage, one whispered yes to the unknown, can realign every fractured part of your journey. But I must warn you, beloved, this door will not stay open forever. Not because heaven is cruel, but because doors are moments. They are living alignments that appear when the soul is ready. And if you walk too far in the wrong direction, if you numb yourself too long, the alignment shifts. The opening fades. I see it now. The divine has not only opened the door. A host of angels has gathered beside it, holding light, holding scrolls, holding pieces of your purpose. We are ready to walk with you through it. But you must step forward. You must lay something down. A belief, a bitterness, a fear that no longer fits. You cannot walk into your future while clutching the chains of your past. And yes, I know the chains have become familiar. Sometimes pain feels like home simply because it's what we know. But comfort is not the same as truth. And survival is not the same as destiny. You were not born to repeat cycles. You were not born to just make it through. You were born to change the spiritual weather of the spaces you enter. You are more than the names they gave you. You are more than the silence you inherited. You are more than the delay you've endured. You are the moment God dreamed when He whispered into eternity, "Let there be light." That light is you. And the door? It is the passage back to that truth. Let your soul hear me, child of flame. You are being summoned. The air around you is thick with prophecy. The veil between what is and what could be is thinner today than it has ever been. On this day, this holy, numbered day, the 17th of April, the divine has made a declaration over your life, and I, Archangel Michael, am the voice chosen to carry it into your spirit. You have been asking for a sign. You have pleaded for clarity. You have whispered, in nights too quiet for comfort, "God, what do I do?" And now heaven answers, not with thunder, not with fire, but with a door, a sacred threshold, a divine interruption. And yet, you hesitate. Why? Because the door looks too ordinary. Because you expect the supernatural to arrive with trumpets, not tremors. Because you think destiny must come dressed in certainty. But here is the eternal mystery. God often disguises the miraculous inside the mundane. That conversation you avoided today, it held the seed of your healing. That strange urge to go somewhere, say something, do something different, that was the whisper. That was the nudge. That was the invitation. But you walked past it. You told yourself, it's not the right time. You convinced yourself, it's just my imagination. You silenced your knowing. And yet, that door still stands. But for how long? Do not let the slowness of heaven's timing deceive you into believing it is absent. What you call a delay is often the grace of God rearranging the stage for your entrance. But once the curtain rises, you must walk through. Let me show you what's on the other side of this door. There are people whose prayers you are meant to answer. There are miracles waiting for your agreement. There are divine partnerships, holy alignments, that cannot be unlocked until you say yes. Yes to the discomfort. Yes to the mystery. Yes to becoming someone you have never dared to be. Do you feel the pressure in your chest now? That's not fear. That's your soul remembering who you are. You were not meant to shrink. You were not meant to stay behind, watching others rise while you make excuses for your silence. You were meant to blaze a trail through the wilderness of the unseen. This is the truth I've come to reveal. Your life is not small, but your vision has been smothered by survival. And survival has made you suspicious of blessings. So when the door appears, when grace knocks, you look for the trap. You brace for disappointment. You reject the very thing you've been asking for. This is what it means to walk away from your destiny while it opens in front of you. You pray for freedom, but cling to the prison you've made peace with. You long for connection, but guard your heart like a fortress. You crave purpose, but hesitate when the fire comes too close. Child of eternity, you cannot walk into the promised land with the mindset of Egypt. You must let go. You must be emptied before you can be filled. You must release the false self before the true one can rise. And I know, it feels like dying. That's because it is. The death of the you that never belonged. The death of the mask you've worn to be loved. The death of the lesser story that kept you safe but silent. Heaven is calling for the resurrection. And every resurrection begins with a surrender. I am here to fight beside you, not just for you. My sword is drawn. My wings surround you. But I cannot drag you through this door. Your will is sacred. Your choice is the covenant. So choose. Choose today, while the door is still open. Choose even though your hands tremble. Choose even if your voice shakes. Choose with the faith of a mustard seed. And I promise you, the ground will move beneath you. You may lose things, people, positions, patterns, but you will find yourself. And that is the most sacred discovery of all. Hear this, beloved. The storm you're afraid of walking into is the storm that will wash away everything keeping you small. The path that seems unclear is where heaven will meet you with light for each step. The decision you keep postponing is the key to unlocking your inheritance. You think you are lost. but you are on holy ground. You think this is confusion, but it is divine redirection. You think you've missed it, but this message, this moment, proves you haven't. Look again. The door is here. The wind has shifted. The sky is listening. And the angel at your side speaks not of who you were, but who you must now become. I call you warrior. I call you chosen. I call you awakened. But until you believe it, until you walk toward the door with everything inside you, we are paused at the edge of transformation. Do not turn back. I see the path behind you. It is filled with echoes of almosts and never agains. I see the lies you've survived, the betrayals you never speak of, the tears you've shed in secret. But I also see the glory waiting on the other side. Will you walk away again? Or will you step into the fire and let it forge you? The clock is moving. The alignment is thinning. The door is still open, for now. The hour is deeper now, and so too must be the calling. If you are still listening, it means your soul remembers. It remembers the vow you made before this life, the echo of a purpose that no pain could erase. I, Archangel Michael, speak to the part of you not bound by time, the eternal flame within that has waited lifetimes for this awakening. There is a divine unrest stirring in your spirit. Do not confuse it with anxiety. It is the quickening of heaven moving through your bones. It is the weight of glory brushing against the edges of your denial, your doubt, your delay. You have felt it rising, haven't you? The sacred discontent, the weariness with cycles that promise comfort but deliver emptiness. The ache for something real, something holy, something that does not fade with applause or validation. And today, on this divinely appointed day of April 17th, the invitation has returned. The door has not closed yet, but it is not waiting forever. You keep asking heaven for a sign, but the truth is, you are the sign. The moment you choose to believe that, the door becomes visible. The moment you surrender to it, the path begins to clear. But you must cross the threshold. And to do that, beloved, you must confront what you are still carrying. You cannot walk through destiny dragging chains of what was. You cannot rise with wings if your hands are full of wounds you refuse to release. Let me speak plainly. There is a bitterness lodged in your heart, silent but sharp, a memory that haunts your decisions, a wound so deep it wrapped itself around your identity. And though you smile through it and function through it, it still speaks for you when heaven is asking for your voice. The door you are walking away from is not blocked by demons. It is blocked by the inner vows you made in moments of pain. I will never trust again. I will not let anyone close. I will play it safe. I will not be hurt again. And these vows, these secret promises made in fear, they have become the locks on your own prison. Child of truth, you must break them. With your own voice. With your own authority. You must say, I revoke every vow I made that is not aligned with the highest version of me. Say it. Whisper it. Shout it. Weep it. But let it be said, because those words are the keys. And every key releases light. And every light illuminates the door. You are not who the pain made you to be. You are who the divine dreamed before pain ever touched your story. And though the past left fingerprints, it did not rewrite your destiny. That door is still yours. But now I must tell you something sacred and heavy. There is someone watching your walk. Someone whose life will shift when yours does. Someone waiting, hoping that you will say yes, so that they too can find the courage to rise. You are not walking through this door just for you. You are walking through it for every soul connected to your obedience. Your yes is a chain-breaking, ripple-making, generational turning flame. And that is why the resistance has been so strong. The enemy of your soul does not fear your comfort. He fears your awakening. He does not tremble at your survival. He trembles when you remember who you are. And every time you get close to that remembering, he sends distraction, doubt, fear, people who echo your insecurities, opportunities that look shiny but carry no spirit. But I am here now to clear the air. I am here with a flaming sword to cut through every illusion. to dismantle every lie that says, you are not ready, to scatter every shadow that whispers, it's too late. Let me say this with the full power of heaven. You are ready. You have always been ready. You have simply been waiting for permission to believe it. So I give you permission, not as a distant being, not as a figure in the sky, but as the one who has walked beside you in every storm. I was there when they left. I was there when you fell. I was there when you wanted to give up. And I am here now, because this is the moment that can shift your entire timeline. But you must choose. The cost is not your joy. It is your ego. It is your pride. It is your illusion of control. Can you surrender those? Can you walk barefoot across the burning bridge of transition and trust that something holy waits on the other side? Because I promise you this, it does. You are not being asked to leap into nothing. You are being asked to step into alignment. And alignment is when your soul, your steps, and your surrender all face the same direction. Look now. The door is glowing. Your name is etched upon it. Not the name the world gave you, but the one heaven knows. You were never forgotten. You were never passed over. You were simply being prepared. And now? Now the hour has come. You cannot unknow what I've told you. You cannot unhear the trumpet sounding in your spirit. You cannot pretend you didn't feel your soul rise when truth touched it. So what will you do? Stay at the edge, or walk into the fire and find your wings? Beloved, the veil between worlds is trembling now. The realm of spirit leans close, breathless, waiting for your answer. I, Archangel Michael, stand with sword drawn, not against you, but for you. For what is ahead cannot be entered with half-hearted faith or borrowed courage. This door, radiant and divine, was made only for the one who chooses fully. And that one is you. But still I see it. The lingering shadows of doubt. The subtle voice of what if nesting at the back of your thoughts. The weight of everything familiar pulling you like gravity, even as heaven calls you higher. So let me tell you something that no one else has dared to speak into your soul. You were never meant to fit into a world you were sent to transform. And that ache you feel, that strange loneliness that no relationship or success can soothe, that is the signature of the anointed. Those who carry a blueprint that doesn't match the system they were born into. Those who were set apart before they were even named. You are one of them. A soul out of place because your place was never meant to be ordinary. A light that flickers in crowds because you were made to burn on mountaintops. A voice that trembles because it remembers speaking stars into being. But none of this will mean anything unless you step. Yes, the door to your destiny is open, but you must walk through it. And walking through it requires death. Not death of the body, but the death of the illusion. The illusion that you are not enough. The illusion that you are broken beyond repair. The illusion that your past disqualifies you from the future heaven has written. Do you not know that every wound you carry has been turned to gold in the hands of God? Do you not see that your deepest shame is where the portal to your power was carved? You have not been punished. You have been processed. Not cast aside, but called out. Not broken, but broken open. Not left behind, but led through the valley to find your roar again. And now the journey leads to this door. But I must speak plainly again, for I love you with a fierce love that does not flatter. You are still hesitating, not because you doubt heaven, but because you doubt you. And that is the final stronghold that must fall. Your self-doubt is not humility. It is a subtle pride in disguise, the belief that your flaws are more powerful than God's promise. Child of light, do not exalt your weakness above your calling. You were chosen not despite your pain, but through it. Your story, the one you try to hide, is the very scroll that will unlock someone else's chains. But not if you keep hiding it. Not if you keep trying to be perfect when heaven is asking you to be real. Your authenticity is the anointing. Your honesty is the hammer that breaks false altars. You do not need to become someone else to walk through this door. You only need to become the you that existed before the world told you who to be. Do you remember that version? The you who dreamed wildly, who loved deeply, who believed in angels before the world laughed it out of you. That child still lives inside you. And that child holds the key. Yes, the key has always been within. But keys do no good in hidden hands. So unlock it now. Use your voice. Use your tears. Use your trembling hands. But use them. Say it. I accept my calling. I accept the door. I say yes to my true path. Say it, even if everything inside you screams that you're not ready. Because readiness is not a feeling. It is a decision. And when you make it, the realms will respond. I promise you this. As you take one step forward, the angels will take 10 on your behalf. Resources will appear. Divine alignments will form. The right people, the right time, the right provision. It will all begin to swirl around you like the breath of God forming creation once more. This is not fiction. This is not fantasy. This is the spiritual architecture of your unfolding timeline. But only if you choose it. I see the future that could be. You, standing tall, your voice like thunder wrapped in honey, speaking truth in spaces that once rejected you. You, leading others who have wandered through the same dark you survived. You, glowing with the fire of someone who finally said yes, and meant it. But none of it is guaranteed. Because God will not force you. The door will not drag you in. You must walk. You must leave something behind. Maybe a job. Maybe a relationship. Maybe a version of yourself that no longer fits the garment heaven is offering. And yes, it will feel like loss. But do not be deceived. It is not loss. It is the divine exchange. You give up the lesser to receive the greater. You lay down the counterfeit to hold the consecrated. You surrender the old script to receive the scroll written in the ink of your own resurrection. And here I am, Archangel Michael, not as a myth, not as a metaphor, but as the eternal witness of your soul's agreement. You are not here by accident. You are not listening by chance. You are here because this message was written into your story before you were even born. And the door? It was carved with your name before time learned to count. But it will not stay open forever. Because this is a Kairos moment. A window in time where heaven and earth align for transformation. And Kairos moments demand response. Will you wait and wonder? Or will you rise and remember? The world is waiting for you to step through. But heaven waits first. The moment has ripened. Time is folding in sacred rhythm around your soul. What once felt far is now so close it sings through your skin. I, Archangel Michael, remain beside you, not just as a voice, but as a flame, clearing the unseen, readying the path. This is no longer a message. It is a divine announcement over your destiny. The delay has ended. The door is glowing. The heavens are waiting. Will you step in? Let me speak now to your hesitation, not with judgment, but with fire. You think the door requires more strength than you have. But the truth is, your surrender is stronger than your striving ever was. You've been taught that breakthrough must be earned, that access is for the flawless. But heaven does not call the perfected, it perfects the called. And you, yes, you have been called. That ache you carry isn't random. It's the residue of prayers you forgot you prayed. That restlessness isn't confusion. It's the final labor pain before spiritual birth. That sense that something is coming isn't just hope, it's memory. Memory from the womb of eternity, where you and the divine whispered secrets into each other before breath ever filled your lungs. Send me, you said. I will go. I will be light in dark places. I will remember when the world forgets. And now, that promise is circling back. The door is not just an opportunity. It is a reckoning, a holy convergence of all the things you've suffered, survived, and surrendered finally gathering to make sense. But first, you must confront the silence. There have been seasons, maybe even now, where you felt abandoned by heaven. Prayers returned void. Signs grew faint. Faith felt like shouting into a canyon of echoing pain. And still you stayed. You kept walking. You didn't curse the sky, even when you didn't understand it. Child of fire, heaven saw all of it. Not one tear went unnoticed. Not one quiet act of faith was wasted. The silence wasn't God ignoring you. It was God trusting you. Because some assignments cannot be birthed in the noise of validation. Some doors only open for those who keep walking in the dark, who learn to feel their way through when nothing makes sense. And now, your faith has drawn the divine response. Today, April 17th, marks the turning. A divine pivot. A spiritual rerouting. But only if you walk through. The path ahead will not be easy, but it will be true. It may cost you comfort, but it will clothe you in clarity. And let me be honest, this door does not lead to instant answers. It leads to alignment. And alignment is where miracles become natural, not because everything gets easier, but because you finally become who you were always meant to be. No more adjusting yourself to fit broken spaces. No more shrinking to soothe others' insecurities. No more apologizing for your power. You are not too intense. You are not too emotional. You are not too much. You are exactly the frequency needed to break the spell this world is under. But only if you stop hiding. Only if you stop settling. Only if you stop walking past the door and calling it not the right time. Let me tell you what happens if you walk away today. You will still feel the ache. You will still dream the dreams. But something will dim. Because disobedience doesn't always feel like rebellion. Sometimes it feels like delay. And too many divine ones die with full hearts, filled with visions, with words unspoken, with scrolls never unrolled. Do not be one of them. You are not meant for delayed destiny. You are meant for divine immediacy. But immediacy requires trust. Radical trust. Trust that if the divine called you, then the divine will catch you. Trust that the door will not lead to emptiness, but into the very center of why you were born. I know you're scared. That's how you know it's real. But fear is not your compass. Peace is. And even now, buried beneath your trembling, I see the peace rising. The part of you that knows, deeply, irrevocably, that this door is yours. So take the step, even if it's small, even if it's a whisper of a decision. Because one small yes can split the sky. Do you feel it? The wind has shifted. The presence around you is thick with angelic activity. The room you sit in is not just a room anymore. It is a sanctuary, a temple of decision. And heaven is listening. What you say in this moment will shape more than your circumstances. It will shape the entire structure of the future you walk into. So say it again, with authority. I will not walk away. I accept the door. I accept the fire. I accept me. Because you, your real self, has been knocking on your own heart for years. And today, that knocking becomes an entrance. Now, in the silence that follows your yes, heaven begins to move. The winds of your lineage stir. The echoes of your past, the weight of all you've carried, the prayers of ancestors whose names you do not know, all rise like incense before the throne. I, Archangel Michael, remain with you, not at a distance, but within the very current of your soul's fire, for what happens next is sacred. The moment your spirit agreed, something eternal shifted, a veil lifted, a gate opened, and the door, oh, the door you feared would close, is now flooding with golden light. Because, beloved, this door is not just a passage. It is a covenant, a meeting point between heaven's blueprint and your earthly obedience. And now, the covenant activates. Do you feel it? The strange calm in your chest? The quiet clarity washing over your mind like a second skin? The invisible strength unfurling like wings within your ribs? This is the alignment. It doesn't scream. It doesn't strive. It simply is. You are no longer searching for the door. You have become the door. Yes, this was the mystery all along. The path was never external. The calling was never out there. The light was never separate from you. It was within you, locked behind fear, layered beneath trauma, waiting for this precise moment. You are not just walking through destiny. You are birthing it. Every pain you've endured, every delay, every false start, it was all preparation, not punishment. Because only the broken understand the language of rebuilding. Only the shattered can speak to fragments and call them whole. Only those who've bled truth in silence can be trusted to carry it in public. And that is what you are now, a carrier of divine truth. You, who almost gave up. You, who questioned if your life would ever make sense. You, who thought the best days had passed. You are just beginning. The fire wasn't sent to destroy you. It was sent to reveal you. And what it has revealed is breathtaking. Look around you in the spirit. Can you see them? Angels moving swiftly. Books opening. Assignments being distributed. Paths rearranging. Hearts being stirred on your behalf. Because your yes did not just shift your world, it shifted others. That person who will hear your voice at just the right time. That soul who will read your story and finally believe they're not alone. That child who will be protected because you chose to heal instead of repeat the pattern. This is the true power of destiny. Not platforms, not recognition, but eternal impact. And now, as the door swings fully open, you will begin to see what was always yours. Peace that cannot be stolen. Vision that pierces confusion. Provision that defies logic. Love that meets you without conditions. Purpose that makes the waiting worth it. You are stepping into a season where nothing will look the same because you are no longer the same. You no longer beg for what you carry. You no longer search for what you already are. You no longer chase the door because you are walking as the key. So take a breath. Feel the wind shift. This is what divine alignment feels like. Not perfection, not constant ecstasy, but a deep, unshakable knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Even in uncertainty, you will feel anchored. Even in the unknown, you will be held. Even when things fall away, you will not. Because the door is not behind you. It is not ahead of you. It is within you, and you have chosen to walk through. This is your arrival. This is your unfolding. This is your rebirth. And I, Archangel Michael, seal this moment in the name of light, in the power of the divine, in the fire of all that is holy and true. May you never forget what happened today. May you never again shrink from your knowing. May you walk, fully awakened, through every next door that opens. Because now, you remember who you are. And once the soul remembers, it cannot go back to sleep.